I've come to the main cemetery in Cwmbran. Cwmbran is an industrial town in the south of Wales. It's not a large cemetery. I don't see any very large memorials. But we'll have a wander through and see what we can pick out. By the entrance are some reasonably modern ones. Catherine Winifred Cameron, 1962, and William George in 1964. Alongside that, Virgil Arthur Peterson, 1970, and Olive Peterson, née Sly, 1999. A smaller stone, but obviously renovated recently. Dr. Carlton Jones, aged 38, medical officer of this parish, 1938, and his wife who died in 84. This one's a little older. Henry Smith Cocker, JP, husband of Mary Rees Cocker, died 1937. And then Gwyneth Mary, their daughter, died 1941. Also up near the Chapel of Rest as we come in, Private Frank Holmes, Royal Army Service Corps, 1921, aged 31. Now he died sometime after the war, but presumably he served in the war, and maybe he died of some injuries that occurred during the war. This one stands beside the main path. It looks as though it's been re-lettered recently, or at least in the last decade or so. James Thomas, beloved husband of Elizabeth Thomas, 37 Victoria Street, Cwmbran, 1903, aged 44. Looking across the graveyard, it looks like a couple of war graves over there. And if I'm not mistaken, another one over by the hedge and one further on. Let's go and check those out. The first one I come to is Private George Penn, the Welsh Regiment, 1918, aged 29. Directly behind him is Private J Wayman, Welsh Regiment, 1919, aged 32. And the family have added their own words at the bottom. Soldiers sleep, thy warfare's o'er, dream of fighting, fields no more. J Wayman. The one tucked in by the hedge, Private F.H. Birchall, Somerset Light Infantry, February 1944. So now we're moving into the Second World War memorials. Now it's unusual to see the CWGC graves in a dirty state. They're normally quite meticulous about keeping them clean. One of the few I've ever seen which is rather grubby. J. N. Kello, Ordinary Seaman, SS Haywood, 1945, aged 22. And another one close by, again in a rather grubby state. Maybe it's just a very poor stone they've used on these. Not like the CWGC to do that. D. Davies, Royal Artillery, 1940 something, I think, and aged 22. The grave is remembered because they do put these crosses here once a year when they come round. Something a little different, probably scratch made or homemade, but rather nice. It stands out. In loving memory of Marianne Nash, 1979. And they've just used some metal corner brackets and 2 pieces of wood. I'm at the far end of the graveyard now, and you can see from here that it's not a very large cemetery. Probably get a glimpse of the chapel of rest up there underneath the big tree. Not particularly well looked after. Now up in one corner we have an area which has been set aside for the graves of children. Always a very moving area. It's quite full, a lot of graves here. Each one of these is a sad story. Somebody's mourning a lost child. This one is even more outstanding, and there's two children, a joint grave. If I show you the left hand stone, this is Joshua Kyle Adams, and he was around 6 months when he died. And then alongside is his sister, who died before him, and she died around 4 months. How can one family bear so much sorrow? Well, I'm going to call it a day there. It's not a large cemetery, and I've wandered around most of the rows. Nothing exceptional, apart from the children's corner, of course. Not very well looked after on the whole. Anyway, till the next time.